A company named Cleaver-Brooks, originator and largest producer of packaged boilers, is well acquainted with the problems of worldwide industrial activity. Cleaver-Brooks installs its boilers and other related industrial products far across the globe, from Canada to Latin America, from England to South Africa, to more than 70 countries of the world. There had to be a good story in a worldwide activity that started in America's Midwest, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A story of enterprise, imagination, and innovation, of dedication to engineering excellence, created another world of difference in the products Cleaver-Brooks builds. It is a story of courage, too. Maybe you can't remember, or would prefer not to, but in the 30s, signs like this were the rule. There were exceptions, though. A young man, John C. Cleaver, was too busy to read the newspapers. What was a depression compared to a new idea? A packaged boiler. And what was so exciting about that? Well, let's remember 1930 again. Let's imagine an early industrial plant that's ordered a big boiler to supply steam for heating. A built-up boiler, because that's all they could get. From one manufacturer came the boiler shell. From another manufacturer, from another manufacturer, the controls. From another manufacturer, the chimney. From another manufacturer, the burner. Until the whole thing was put together and started up. Then it was just wait and see. John Cleaver, a man of inventive mind and optimism, didn't want to wait until all of the problems of the Depression years were solved. He developed the first packaged boiler, all components together, pre-assembled in a compact, portable, oil-fueled boiler with fire tubes instead of a firebox, forced draft instead of natural draft in a high chimney, and with all performance testing taken care of before the boiler was ever put in operation. Joined by another forward-looking man, experienced machinery sales executive Ray Brooks, the new Cleaver-Brooks company began building these boilers and selling them. Originally, they were built to roll along the highways, melting asphalt for paving roads or thawing ice from clogged-up culverts. From there, they decided to turn this innovation into a practical, packaged forerunner of products for industrial, commercial, and institutional uses. But that's only a bit of history. A glimpse of the Cleaver-Brooks creative flame flickering to life to become a vital force in heat transfer, or the utilization of heat ideas for the benefit of all. This modern gas-fired Cleaver-Brooks boiler was ordered to provide the steam to heat an 18-story office building, all the way up to a penthouse boiler area on top of the executive offices and conference rooms. It's that compact in design and quiet in operation. Packaged by one manufacturer, completely pre-tested. A good thing to know before you send a 5-ton boiler on a one-way trip like this. And over 35,000 Cleaver-Brooks boilers have taken one-way trips to their worldwide points of installation. To Cornell University's new $1.5 million aeronautical laboratory wing, for example. Two 250 horsepower units supply steam for all heating and air conditioning. Chicago's giant McCormick Place Exposition Center needs 4 600 horsepower Cleaver-Brooks boilers. A hospital like Holy Family in Des Plaines, Illinois, needs steam for heating, cooling, and sterilizing. Cleaver-Brooks boilers answered their needs. The $6 million Bayshore Inn at Vancouver, British Columbia is heated by 2 125 horsepower gas or oil-fired boilers. The Carruthers Public School in London, Ontario installed these 50 horsepower boilers. And when they built the handsome new U.S. gypsum building, they went all modern, hoisting 2 350 horsepower Cleaver-Brooks boilers up to the roof for a penthouse boiler room installation. What is a Cleaver-Brooks boiler? Well, it's a fabrication of steel that ultimately produces steam. But in between comes individual skill at its highest level, combined with sophisticated materials handling for the closest to absolute in production and quality control. In the beginning, there's a production schedule. Every detail is organized to achieve almost split-second timing, to move boiler production through the factory without time loss. On the burning table, they trim it down to size. On the roll press, the thick steel plate begins to shape up. After the inside weld is made, the shell revolves to the outside welding machine. The second half is then placed on top so that the welding process can be started. They give it an X-ray physical, and all the information gathered here goes with the boiler until it reaches its final owner. They've got a shell, and they give it a heart, a furnace. But there's activity at every production station, kept moving by a magic carpet on rails, pivot for the system of advanced machinery and techniques created by Cleaver-Brooks' own engineers to keep moving the work to the man. All along the route of the magic carpet, yellow lights flash requests for pickups or deliveries of boilers in production. A steel giant can thus move safely and efficiently through its stations for miles, picking up some 1,700 parts, to emerge as a finished, custom-built boiler in a mere handful of days. Another key to Cleaver-Brooks' production and quality control is positioning the work for the man. At the tube sheet welding station, a mighty juggler called the upender can safely swing a 40,000-pound boiler around 360 degrees with great ease, until it's balanced and locked just so for the equipment and the man to go to work at the angle established through Cleaver-Brooks' experiments and experience as ideal for the perfect weld. It is rotated again so that the job to be done is in the right position for the right man to do it. Each boiler is then moved into the huge oven for stress relief heat treatment. And because above all else, a boiler must be tight, watertight, fire-tight, tube holes should be precision bored. At Cleaver-Brooks, the maximum tolerance is only 20/1000ths of an inch. Steel ribbon. Thousands upon thousands of miles of it flows endlessly into the tube mill. The steel ribbon is carefully formed into tubes. After the weld is finished, they heat it up to 1700 degrees, cool it slowly. They re-roll it, perfect, and then cut it. Tube sections are constantly tested under extreme pressure to be sure the seam will hold. Furnace is the heart of a boiler. These are the arteries of heat. And a lot of boilers, their tube holes bored, are ready for tubing. This boiler still lacks paint, doors, and controls, but the fire tubes are beaded in and the hydrostatic test gets underway. The boiler is filled with water until the pressure reaches 1.5 times the pressure resistance level it's designed for, which is well above normal use pressure. Inspectors examine every seam, every beading, suspicious, thorough, demanding that not one trace of moisture appears on any outer surface. The Firepit Test. With almost everything on it, this boiler is being fired up for the complete in-use checkout. The smoke vanishes, and we know that fuel combustion has quickly reached efficiency. We move in on the control panel. Watch the coded lights that either reassure or flash warnings of any problems. Look inside. Go step by step over the indicators, connections, fittings, every area of the boiler in high-test operation to be sure it meets the standards promised through Cleaver-Brooks quality control. Now the boiler moves on to the shipping area and made ready to start its journey toward any part of the United States or the world. Sometimes there's a world of difference between Cleaver-Brooks boilers. They vary from 5 horsepower to 5,000 horsepower and everything in between. But the only difference is in size, never in performance and customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is not just another marketing cliche. It's an actual ingredient of difference in the boilers Cleaver-Brooks builds. It begins with conferences between a Cleaver-Brooks sales engineer and the buyer to determine the right boiler for the right job. How big for the area to be heated? Gas-fired? Oil? Combination. It's already becoming a custom boiler. It moves on even into the area of installation. Out in the field are more than 200 factory-trained service engineers. Wherever a Cleaver-Brooks boiler goes, one of the specialists goes along to start it up. The exclusive modular control panel to simplify safety controls. The warning lights, and inside the plug-in modules for easy conversion from one fuel series to another, or adding a fuel without panel rewiring. The exclusive functional adjustable hinges that let heavy vault-like doors swing easily open, close up tight, front and back, for simple boiler inspection. The exclusive rotary damper with its positive air control. A sleeve within sleeve principle eliminates play for exact air-to-fuel ratios over the complete firing range for constant combustion efficiency. Only Cleaver-Brooks offers 4 design standards for high operating efficiency and long life. The forced draft design, for one, features a built-in fan to supply air for combustion and provide a positive draft. The volume of air moved is constant, without regard for weight differences caused by air temperatures. A continuous air and fuel balance assures proper combustion. Cleaver-Brooks boilers provide 5 square feet of heating surface per boiler horsepower, ideal for maximum boiler durability and minimum maintenance. 4-pass gas to a Cleaver-Brooks boiler scrubs the tubes to increase the heat transfer efficiency. Cleaver-Brooks updraft construction features a low furnace location for greater safety should the water level drop. A minimum temperature variance between water and gas in the 3rd and 4th passes for very dry steam. The hottest gas flow in the 1st and 2nd passes through the coolest water for higher heat transfer. And an outlet of hot stack gases at the top for safer, easier piping. More than 700,000 square feet of plant space is located on 600 acres. The policy of superiority at these plants reaches out to serve the world through Cleaver-Brooks licensees in England and Australia, and hundreds of sales agents in over 70 different countries. Even in areas most remote from us, Cleaver-Brooks agents are hand-picked, highly qualified, and trained in boiler engineering. In Peoria, Illinois, or Saudi Arabia, by allying themselves with Cleaver-Brooks, these agents take responsibility for the proper installation and superior performance of every boiler they deliver, for training and maintenance and operation, and for instant expert assistance in any possible emergency. There's an interrelated scope to other Cleaver-Brooks products. In addition to Cleaver-Brooks fire tube boilers are the giant water tube boilers. Also fully packaged, they deliver up to 250,000 pounds of steam per hour. At the other end are Cleaver-Brooks versatile, easily installed boilers. They'll supply ample heat for small businesses or limited areas, hot service water for laundromats, heated water for swimming pools, even handled snow melting. When a motel using a boiler for warmth decides to build a swimming pool, just add more coils and leave it to Cleaver-Brooks products. From research and development came the Cleaver-Brooks boilers of today. From more ideas and experiment here will come the even further advanced Cleaver-Brooks boilers of tomorrow. And seldom more than a few steps away, John Cleaver, still keenly interested in the future achievements of Cleaver-Brooks. Working toward increasingly efficient use of vital boiler fuels and power, including electricity, Cleaver-Brooks research engineers experiment with high heat release burners. They're searching for maximum energy output from the minimum amount of fuel, and they'll find it, perhaps with turbine-type burners. In every area of thermodynamics, Cleaver-Brooks researchers constantly probe for new ideas, new concepts. have scanned the past, we have observed what is happening now, and we have peered into the future. From every direction we get the message in the products Cleaver-Brooks builds. There will always be a world of difference.